Right. So to be upfront, I don't have years worth of PC building experience, but I do have a super fast crash course that I've taken in the past quarter year. I think I've built like 7 different PCs, all not all, but a lot, ranging on different levels. I've done super low budget, very low end builds. I've done a lot of mid range builds, and I've done one really high end build. Um, it took me a while doing all kinds of research and then actual testing, personal testing, to see what was going to be the best bang for your buck. The whole idea is, of course, the most popular video series on YouTube is like a $200 PC game PC, $300 game PC, that kind of shit. And of course, the lower the dollar you can get it, the better. Now, the thing is, I wanted to get as cheap as you can get with doing a completely custom PC build. Like a lot of the low end gaming PCs you see, or people posting $200 gaming PC or whatever like that. Those are small form factory PCs that are the form factory cases that people are just updating the graphics card. I wanted something that's completely customizable that you can get around the $200 range. Now, I think I can still get one down even lower than I've already done before and be effective, but it would take some time to build, and the case probably wouldn't be very pretty. It wouldn't be the prettiest case, but using a combination of eBay, Amazon, AliExpress, things like that, you can still buy things new. It just depending on where you get it from, it could vary in time, how long it's going to take you to get them. But anyway, as the title says, I want to talk about graphics cards in this particular setup, because I really think there's only 2 graphics cards that you really need to be looking at. Now, because the first couple PCs I built, I did build with just used graphics cards, I did want to go out and test a newer one. So I did grab an ARC A580, and I'm not, like the graphics card is not bad, but I am a little disappointed with the overall performance it get versus like the 1080, right? Because I'd already bought a couple of those by the time, and the 1080 was outperforming FPS wise the ARC A580. Now, it is what it is. I don't regret buying the card. At the end of the day, that card went to a PC that went to my son. But it just reinforced the idea that you don't really need to be buying these newer mid-range cards when the 1080 is averaging around $100 some dollars. Now, of course, the market does fluctuate. So the first couple of 1080s I bought them around $80 each. And then when I bought the third one, it was around like $90 something dollars. And right now on eBay, they're trending at like 100, 110. And I understand why. I even bought a 2060 recently, even though I haven't actually put it into a PC just yet and tested it. The 1080 benchmarks are still higher than the 2060. So again, the two cards I'm looking at as are my go-to cards for a build option are the 980 and the 1080. Right now, the 980, just because of the fact that it hammers down the price a little bit more. Even then, the market fluctuates again. You have to kind of camp on a whole bunch of different listings, make offers, wait for offers, things like that. There's still a lot of people posting 980s at like 60 some dollars. I tend to buy them when they're in the $40, $50 range. So the 980 will get you high settings on most games. So my go-to games for benchmarking right now are Warhammer 40k, Space Marine 2, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Black Myth Wukong, and of course Fortnite, because esports needs a representative, and Fortnite is the one that I get asked about the most when people are trying to buy PCs from me. So the 980 in Fortnite is capable of high settings at like around 80 FPS, 60 to 80 FPS, are pretty consistent. So you can play using the 980 in high settings on Fortnite. Fortnite is the most finicky game. It's the hardest one to test for. It's amazing to me that it is, because the fact that it's like so cartoonish the way the game looks, but it is hard to really maximize the frame rates and keep them steady. So the 980 runs a steady 80 FPS, 60 to 80 FPS, and the ARC A580 runs about the same. It runs about the same as that does. Now, at one point in time, the A580 that I was using was able to run epic settings at a pretty at like 80 FPS. But even then, like the A580, it doesn't really stay steady on what it's capable of. It can run epic settings. Like if you tune to preferred settings for the card, it will automatically set to epic, and it can run it. But I know everybody likes to look at 60 FPS constantly, and sometimes the A580 will put out 40 to 50 FPS in epic, which is, again, that's why I'm saying that's just disappointing. Now, will it run on, lower settings? Yes, it will just fine. So you can milk out more FPS, but because the Intel has it to where you can really only run their Arc A580, and I think Intel cards in general, in DirectX 12. So even if you put it in lower settings, you can't really put it in full performance mode because of that, and you'll only average like 150. So again, it's not a non-playable issue. It's just the fact that people like to see the big numbers for the money that you're going to spend. And if you put a 980 in performance mode, you'll run 200 to 250 FPS. And the same thing with the 1080, it'll run 250 to sometimes 300 FPS in performance mode. So if you're really trying to build a computer on a budget, I think the 980 should be the go-to. It's dollar-wise, it's going to be the cheapest, the one that you can find that's still capable of playing modern games. Again, I have benchmarking on here for the 980. It runs again, like I said, FPS, the high FPS or high settings Warhammer and Final Fantasy Remake, and low settings for Black Myth Wukong. So it's the 980 already is capable of running, I think, just about anything, because I believe that the Black Myth Wukong game right now is the one that's the most graphically demanding game out right now. I believe so. So I guess go with the 1080 if you really want to maximize your settings. If you really want to really crank up the settings on a budget, then the 1080 is a go. Now, I don't think I've put the 1080 to test on benchmarking yet for those games, just because of the fact that the 980 already runs what it runs. So in theory, if the 980 is doing that, then the 1080 shouldn't have an issue with it running on even higher settings, right? 73% performance and speed, 70% performance average score and FPS. Look, so it's just, if the 980 is already capable of running high settings and multiple AAA titles, and running lower settings on a game that's the best, then the 1080 should smash it. I will be doing eventually 1080s as benchmarking here, just to hammer that point home. But right now, I don't have a PC to. I mean, I guess I could have a PC to put it in. I just kind of being lazy here. But again, this is one of those things where the 980 already knocks it out of the park. So it's just a given fact that the 1080 is going to perform that much better. All right, guys. I right now I don't have a lot of social media. I don't have a Discord set up for this channel because it's still in its infancy, and right now it's kind of low traffic. I did set up an Instagram account, so if you want to talk faster, you want to do the voice chat, we can do that there. I'll set it up in the description below. And guys, I will be talking about my PC builds in the future. I've done one kind of overview for a $300 build, but I will go over some more in the future here to give details. And then also we're going to be exploring what we can do on an absolute budget. All right, guys, so thanks for watching, and peace.